My outside beer fridge has gotten an upgrade. This I had, I'll put the link to the original video on this from I don't know how many umpteen years ago. It's yellowed. It's igloo. I still only drink beer on days that end in Y. It's a fridge. They got expensive from what they used to be. By the way, it's going to rain in about 5 seconds, so hopefully I don't have to cut this short. I had to pull this fridge out for two reasons. One is it got too cold, believe it or not, and something exploded in there, soda, and it made a mess. So I had to hose it out, and to do it in the screen room, nah, not a good thing. Plus it collects leaves behind it, so I wanted to get those out, so I did that. And China sent me these furniture dollies that suck. I'll put a link to that in the prescription as well. And with that on, it doesn't work. And with that on, you can see how it can be moved around as such, just like that. So all around, a nice set of furniture mover dollies from Kedsum. That didn't work. And as you can see with the dollies, now it can be moved around. And with the dollies under it, it can be moved very easily. So once again, this was the, nope. And with the dollies underneath, it can be moved easily. And there's that. So I had to pull this out, and you know, this way I could stack videos again. But the problem is this fridge doesn't work right. It works, it gets cold, but it doesn't work right. And when I say that, what I mean is, due to the way that they design these type fridges, a la Technology Connections video on, he has this red fridge or something, and they put the temperature probe like on one of the lines going back to the compressor, and only when that gets cold enough does it think the fridge is cold enough, but it usually is fooled and generally doesn't work well. It has no ability to recover. It honestly just really does not work too well, the way they designed it. And that's that. The paint is rusty at the bottom. It looks like it's got ripples on it, so that's rusting out nicely. But it still makes cold, and that's the point. It's got one of them little dials in there, and I never thought, even when it was new, it got quite cold enough, but then other times it can get too cold and freeze stuff, and I had some beers freeze. They're no good now. So that's not a good thing. That's alcohol abuse, and I can't have this abusing my alcohol. That's what I'm here for. I mean, this has to just make it cold, but not too cold. So it got an upgrade. It's not done yet. Yep, that's a wire with a temperature probe. It's just sitting there for now. Here's a fun fact, right? So when this defrosts itself because it warms up enough in there, whatever drips down and goes into that channel back there, and there's a hole there. And that hole drains onto this dish, if you will, whatever you want to call it, pan, on top of the compressor, and the heat from the compressor will make it evaporate faster. And hopefully, if all goes well, and that actually works, it won't flood whatever room you have it in. The fire sticker is about falling off, so I guess that burnt up. To get the wire in there, it was funny because I'm rinsing it out with the hose, and I kind of had noticed this in the past. That hole that they have to drain into the pan was never punched out properly, so it never drained. It also never really melted enough to cause a problem, but I did notice water there in the past, but it just eventually went away. So I just got a big screwdriver here and just punched it out. It was just like cardboard and shit in there. So I said, well, let's see. It hasn't worked in how many years? What if I shove a wire right through there? The Luxbird temperature controller. So now the fridge will plug into that. That will now be the fridge's plug. And I can set the temperature that I want. It's even got Wi-Fi, so I can do that kind with an app and make the fridge smart. It doesn't need to have any of that stupid shit, because once you set it, you can forget it. And of course, to make all of this work, I had to jump out the existing thermostat, and you can just about make that out there. So there was only one screw holding that to the side, and I simply took that out. Fortunately, there were two push-on connectors for the existing thermostat. Well, that's the end of this video. There were two connectors, push-on connectors on that, and I have the mating ones, so I just made a little jumper wire. So my modification is 100% completely reversible. Pretty spiffy and schmick at the same time. And for anybody who's interested, I don't know if I can even read this. Household refrigerator model FR464I-B-white. Capacity 4.6 cubic foot, that's good to know. 115 volts, 60 hertz, 110 watt input power, energy consumption 0.4 kilowatt hours per 24 hours, roughly. Refrigerant charge volume R134A. Really? I didn't know that. Wow, that's pretty nifty. Cool. So it's still got R134A in it. I'm not going to find that anymore. Wow. Yeah, I thought this fridge was going to be a goner. And in fact, in the video, the first video that you saw on this fridge, this is not that one. It failed. A year later, Walmart still carried it, and I bought another one. And it came, and I put this one in the box and gave it back. Or the old one. You can see the yellowing. That's the sun going through the slats of the stairs to come outside. But this opened up a whole can of worms pulling this out. I gotta clean all that out. So that's my next task, is getting rid of all these leaves. And then I can put everything back. And that's that. It's odd having this open here like this, because it's kind of just like a dead corner. And I think the original fridge that was here, the refrigerator, I don't think I had a video on that. It's a whole long story with that thing. That was in here pretty much since we moved in. So there's always been something here. Otherwise, you just got like this dead area here. So I made good use out of it by putting a fridge in there. And this is the least impacted by the weather, because it's the farthest diagonally from any outside. So yeah, that's about that. So that's going to about do it. I don't have an update on how well it works. I'm not going to know how well it works until I get everything cleaned out and put it back. So we'll find out one day. I probably won't make a separate video on it, but 4th of July is coming up, if this video makes it out before then. And if so, I'll probably mention it in there somewhere, maybe. I don't know. And here we are, all back into place. Microwave, I just plugged it in, didn't set the time yet. Fridge is back, everything's good. And right down there, you can see 67.5 is the temperature inside the fridge right now. AH is some sort of high temperature alarm. That's okay. That's exactly what it should be doing right now. And it's got an app too. Isn't that nifty? It doesn't quite work with the Smart Life app, which is kind of a shame because everything else does. The graphics and that just aren't formatted properly for it. So I have to use their stupid app, but hey, it works. It says it's been cooling for 12 minutes. I guess that resets when it does its thing. So that's kind of all there. You see it just went down to 66.4 because the display on that did that. I think it takes a temperature reading in the app every minute, if I recall, for something. You can go into the temperature settings, and I set a 3-minute refrigeration delay, which is kind of nice. 50-degree high temperature and low temp just came up 23, fine. Doesn't matter. So that's all there, and it just kind of sits there and just does its thing. You can't tap that or move the guy around. What is this here? Total heating time, total cooling time. Okay, those numbers are erroneous, but whatever, it's there. So that's all good too. So I can just check on the status of the fridge at any point. Which is really, really nice. Display on the thing is 65.8. The app has not updated yet, but it will. There, 65.7 just went down to it. And inside, just tied it on the lower rack. That'll be just fine. And it even has a graph, as you see here, so I can see, and as you can see right there, it was turned on and it slowly goes down to where it's supposed to be, and it's almost there at this point, 40.5, so we're in the range that I set. Once it hits 37, it should shut the fridge and wait until it warms up to 42, at which point it will turn back on. Anyways, that's the upgrade, and like I said, it's completely reversible, which is pretty awesome. So let me leave this open to finish drying out like I had it, and that is going to do it for this one. Thank you so very kindly for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.